There's just something about lifting dead weight. It's unlike anything else. We often talk about squats being a lot more easier to recover from than deadlifts, because deadlifts are kind of like dead weight. You got to actually break that inertia. With squats, you unrack it, you walk it out, and you go down. There's a bounce. There's a stretch reflex wherever you kind of squat to, parallel or ATG or whatever. So there's something about that. Just breaking the inertia of dead weight is extremely heavy for recovery, for the session. Last 3 days, I've basically done pin squats every single day, and I'm feeling it. The last 3 days have been very, very heavy for me. The 200 feels like it's slowing down. So these type of symptoms, when I see that, I feel like, okay, I have to change something. So I flirted with the idea of doing pin squats every single day. I thought at one point, okay, let me do pin squats, quarter squat pin squats one day, and then the next day will be kind of like a parallel level pin squat. That experiment from yesterday, the parallel squat business, that's just way too heavy, man. That whole positioning of the back in that position is just exactly like a deadlift. There's a whole lot of leaning forward. There's a whole lot of which muscle do I freaking turn on to get this thing moving. So it's a very, very taxing position to be in. And thinking about what Greg Knuckles talks about, fixing these universal sticking points with lifts, with squatting, there's not much really we can do about it, because if you attack that particular spot where you are mechanically most disadvantaged, man, there's some real recovery points to be spent there. Because if you start pulling or pushing, whatever the hell you want to do with the squat from that position, it's going to get really, really heavy for you. Yesterday's workout smoked my lower back, literally smoked my lower back. Today, I decided to do pin squats because I thought, okay, let me just do the quarter pin squats because they feel good. Man, I think I got to the second plate here and my lower back started yelling. Mad pump in the lower back. Basically, last 3 days I've been getting these mean lower back pumps. So I think the frequency of these things has to be one on, one off. There's no other way. I've gotten weaker in the pin squats as well. That's because the fatigue level has kind of been super high. So I need to start shaving off some of this fatigue for me to kind of continue. The 200 today, you'll see it in a bit. It moved, but it moved slow. I think the bar speed is slowing down. So that's all kind of what I'm thinking about. I've spoken about bar speed in the past. For me, it's like the number one indicator of recovery. It's the number indicator of how training is going. This whole little period of annual leave that I've had has been crazy. I've been doing stupid workloads. It's catching up to me now. So I think I need to have slow days. And these slow days need to be, still, you work up to 200, but there's no back off volume. There's no volume. Even with the psoas curls was smoking me. Even when I look back 5 or 6 days ago, these psoas curls started like really taxing me out. So just playing around with different variables all the time, that's all you got to really do. As your life changes, you have to kind of think to yourself, okay, I'm going back to work next week. So how do I change my training? That's pretty much what my life has been like. Like I've got a rotating roster with work. Every single week is going to be different. So I always have to kind of see these vital signs, if you want to use the terminology from my own work. You see what the vital signs are telling you on that particular session, and then you make a call. For you to basically give the same dosage of training every single day for every single circumstance is playing stupid, because it's kind of like, well, we're giving patients medications at work. People come in, they've got different vital signs, and according to those vital signs, we pick what dosage to give or what medication. So that's what we do. You take somebody's history, you see what their history medical is, what they're taking at the time, what they've come in with, what's happening, what's their blood work telling us, and then you make a call. For some reason in the whole fitness industry, the whole working out industry, it's all kind of like locked and rigid guidelines. Okay, 5x5 at 80%. The hell is that, man? So what cookie cutter program for everyone? So everyone in the globe is going to be doing that. Shift workers, office workers, manual workers, labor workers, somebody who has no experience with training, somebody who's got long history of training. You can't have a cookie cutter thing anyway. It's biology. There's no cookie cutter for anyone. So this is why I love this type of training, where constantly I'm taking my vital signs. Constantly I'm making a call. This is why this training has kind of lasted so long with me, because I'm constantly adapting to what my environment is telling me. So right now my lower back is being lit. So do I ignore that and keep pushing on, or do I go, okay, so something is happening, something's changed, I need to adapt to it. Some people tell me that, oh, you just need to kind of work hard and kind of block that out and go get on with it. Well, that's like me telling somebody at work, okay, your blood pressure is 200, so we're going to give you this many milligrams of metoprolol or whatever the medication is. We can't do that, man. We have to take a lot more things into consideration to work out exactly what dosage to give people. So, it's worked. Last week worked really well. A bunch of things happened, so I need to kind of adjust my training. And that adjustment is going to be, today was a heavy ass session, and my God, lower back was pumped. So tomorrow when I come in, I'll basically do very minimal sprint up to 200, hit that 200, and then walk away. So no psoas curls. Yesterday I even did the quad work, and so my quads feel pumped and fatigued today. So that's another element. So my back is smoked, my quads are smoked. So what's actually making this 200 kilo squat? You know what I mean? So I know we have to always apply some stimulus for change to happen, but you always have to think to yourself, how much stimulus, and has that stimulus been recovered on the back end? So it's a constant thinking about recovery curves, stimulus curves, all this sort of stuff. And stress doesn't just come in the form of a barbell and weights. Stress comes when you're getting pissed off at the gym. Stress comes with road rage. Stress comes with food. Maybe you have an allergen that you eat constantly and that stresses you out. Are you bloated? Have you slept? So many different things. And we as lifters, this is 200 times 1. Just pay attention to the sticking point. It slowed down a fair bit. Of course, on camera it looks like it's freaking flying. Anyway, it felt like hell. Not like hell, but it felt a lot worse. So I guess as lifters, we always have to be taking these vital signs from our body. Don't ignore these signs, because if you ignore these signs, if you've got a knee pain, say, and you want to be a numbskull, and you reckon you want to do 80% 5x5, man, you are basically ignoring a vital sign of your body. Now, these vital signs, I'm kind of using terminology from medicine, and it's not really a vital sign, but it is, right? In the sport of weightlifting, knee pain is a vital sign. Something is happening. We need to address it. What's going on? Look for it. So that's kind of how I look at training all the time. Right now I'm sitting here at home again, recording this voiceover, and I feel my lower back. I feel my quads. So for me to come in tomorrow again, do pin squats again, well, what am I doing, man? Like, I haven't recovered. Yesterday I flirted around with the idea of having lower pins. That was a bad idea. Really bad idea. I might as well have the bar in my hand and do a deadlift at that point. Same freaking thing, same positioning, very similar. And that's not the training stimulus that I want. I want to be in the quarter squat position to engage the quads, to engage the core. I really like that. It carries over really well for me. So that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. So tomorrow I'm going to try and come in, hit 200, shave off some of that fatigue, and continue to think about how to avoid some of these mean lower back pumps. Even, I know the spin squats are meaning the world to me now, but maybe I'll squeeze, for the next, 4 or 5 days, I'll do every third day pin squats rather than every second day. You don't have to be so, stuck in your ways. Just because you worked last week doesn't mean it's going to work this week. You always have to adapt and change. That's the kind of training I love. Because I was so smoked today with the lower back, once again, no back offsets in the squat. I did the pins, I did the normal squats, and then so I went to the bench press, and I thought, well, let's spend some time in the bench press. It feels rather nice. I said to the cameraman to lay down on the bench. You feel kind of like your lower back letting go, relaxing. It's kind of good to work while laying down. It's kind of ironic to do work while in the position where you usually sleep in. But anyway, so I did the Bilbo set. Kind of worked up to 100 kilos for one. I looked for 5 kilos. I wanted to do 110. I couldn't freaking find 5 kilo plates anywhere, so I just went the hell with it. I'll just leave it at 100 times 1. And then I went back down to 60 kilos. I did a Bilbo set. I worked up to 30 reps with that. That burnt me out. And then because, I'm not really doing a lot of work in the kind of squatting department, I decided to do more work. So the Bilbo method is you have a Bilbo set. That's kind of your first set, I guess, after your warm up. You work up to like 30, 40 reps, whatever. And then after the Bilbo set, then what Bilbo says is that you do 3x12, I don't know, 5 by 10, something like this. I ended up trying to do 3 by 12 today. I got 2 sets. The third set ended up being a set of 7. I was just fatigued. So if I can't do all the other stuff, might as well do some more benching. So that's exactly what I've done today. So I did a whole lot of benching, basically out of necessity, because if I had the energy and if I had the readiness, I would have done some back off sets today with the squat. But anyway, I did some more benching, and that was basically the workout. Once again, going back to the drawing board, thinking about how my body feels, thinking about all this stuff. And then tomorrow I'll adjust accordingly. That's basically what I subscribe to. That's exactly what I think training should be for everyone. I don't think we should blindly follow these arbitrary numbers that come in programs. There's nothing that fits everyone. All our lives are different. My life is going to be different today from what it's going to be tomorrow. So we need to have the capacity to always adjust on the fly. This is what biology needs. We are not machines. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.